Wow, look at all the people here. I'm so excited. Welcome to the, what are we, April 9th regular meeting of the Ashland School Board. I will now call this meeting to order. Let the record show that all 5 directors are present. And we will start with the land acknowledgement. Who would like to read that?
We acknowledge that the sacred land that we live and learn on today belongs to the Takelma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples. We honor and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we now call the United States. We recognize the Native American people's continuing connection to the land, place, waters, and community. We pay our respects to their cultures, country, and elders, past, present, and emerging.
All right, thank you, Ellis. Okay, next up we have adoption of agenda. So unless there are any concerns, I will take a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. And next we have the consent agenda, which, let's see, this evening it consists of approval of minutes, personnel report, enrollment report, temporary positions, MOA, and that's it. No policies this week. So unless there are concerns, I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you. All right, then we move on to the thing we're all here for, the school presentation by Hellman. So come on up. All right, welcome.
We're on. Can
You are
hear me?
on.
Can you hear me okay?
Get really close to the mic.
Really
That's
close like that? Okay. Can you see me over this thing? Okay, great. Well, welcome to Dragon Country. You can see we've invaded you with all of our treasures here. So welcome. Thanks for having us. I'd like to start with what our mission, our vision is. So our mission is very important to us because it says we're working together to educate the whole child. And everything that we do and think about at Hellman involves the whole child. And I hope through this presentation you can kind of see that theme. Our vision, which was actually written by parents and teachers a couple of years ago before I returned. Hellman School is a safe and loving community where each child is honored as an individual, challenged to take risks, develop friendships, and reflect on their growth, push themselves to reach their potential, and embrace the wonder that leads to lifelong enthusiasm for learning. A little bit about Hellman. We currently have 261 kids enrolled at K-5, and that includes a site-based classroom with 10 students. Our configuration this year is a straight K. We have a 1-2 blend. We have a first grade straight grade. And then we have 2-3 blended classrooms. 4th and 5th grades, 2 each, and they're straight grades as well. So for our 11 classroom teachers, which includes the site-based, we have 10 general and 1 site-based. We are supported by quite a team of people. We have an office manager, a school counselor, district nurse, school nurse, math and reading specialists, a special ed teacher, and the site-based teacher is also a special ed teacher. And we have an intern counselor this year, which has been very special. We have a school psychologist a couple of days a week. We have a youth advocate, PE and music teachers, 8 part-time assistants, and 3 of them are in the site-based, custodial staff, and food service. So
and a principal.
Oh, and a principal, yes. Thank you, whoever said that. Was that you? Magic word, okay. Our school improvement plan that we've been working on, and it's funny, I guess, to us, maybe not to you, but it's kind of a document that keeps moving around, and we keep looking at it and changing and thinking, you know, what do we want to do? But our goals play into the district goals, and the district main goal is to increase graduation rates by 2028 to 95%. And so what can we do as an elementary school towards graduation? We have reading goals and math goals. And our reading goal is we're hoping by this June that 80% of our Hellman students are performing at or above grade level as measured by Excel, with less than 10% that still remain far below. To do that, we implemented the ELL curriculum to increase general knowledge through topical units and close reading practices, which just means reading in depth, not close reading. Teachers meet weekly to analyze student work and share their understanding of best practices. Our professional learning communities focus on 4 questions. What do we want students to learn? How do we know when they learned it? What is the best response when students haven't learned it? And then what do we do when students learn or already know what we've just tried to reteach to them? So how do we handle that? And we are implementing high-dosage quality tutoring for some more targeted intervention. Our math goal, we're hoping for 78% of students to perform at or above grade level. Our math specialists this year supported 2 core classes to reduce class size and allow us to teach straight second grade math, for example, or a straight third or straight fourth. So we're not having to blend the math. And we're learning how to focus more on improving core instruction and not thinking of intervention, but trying to get to the point where we don't need as much intervention. Another goal is the district's goal is to increase the percent and the rate that students and staff report feeling safe, welcoming, and supported, and that we are an inclusive environment. So this is a lofty goal, but I think we'll get there. By spring of 2027, which is a year from now, 98% of Hellman students will report a positive response in the category of belonging through the Youth Truth Survey. And currently, we're about 88, so we're creeping up there, so we have to figure out how to bump it up during this next year. Our site council plans to create a brief survey to learn more about how the community feels about belonging. We need to analyze Youth Truth Survey more deeply. We haven't gone in totally deeply yet. We just got it, so we're still looking at that. And we want to increase opportunities for student engagement in school governance. Through student listening sessions, collaborate with the Whole School Art Project in the fall of 2026, and create a student council next year. Some baseline data I have for you, a couple of slides about some data. Now, this data is old. It's last spring for the state testing because we're just embarking on this year's testing, so we won't have those results for probably 4 to 5 weeks, maybe longer. So last year, this time in language arts, our third graders were at 57% proficiency, fourth grade was 65%, and fifth grade was 74%. Science was 52%. That we want to bump up a lot. Math, third grade, last year we were at 67%, fourth grade was at 60, and fifth grade was 61%. So we'll see how we do this year. IXL data was taken in January of 2026, so we are coming up to a new benchmark in about 4 weeks, just before the end of school. But overall, our K-5 ELA is at or above 64%, and overall in math, 62%. So we have a ways to go to get to our goals. So we'll see how far we get. Now, the math, we're far below in 10%, so we're kind of close to coming up to wanting that less, but so we'll see how we do. Another area that Hellman pays close attention to, talking about the whole child, is how they're doing social emotionally and what kind of pro-social baseline we can collect. And this chart I find interesting because I was able to find data starting back in the fall of 2024, and it spans then the winter of 2025. So the top part was last year, And then this fall of 2025, and then we just redid it right before, kind of before spring break. So this is very current. But the trend is what's great. In 2024, if you look at, and the benchmark means those are children that we feel are thriving, that they're doing well. Strategic children probably need time with the counselor, maybe some extra small group time with children who have other like issues that they want to talk about. And intensive involves families, maybe Maslow and things like that, where we have many more intensive needs. So if you look at the trend, we're going to the good all the way every single time, sometimes 1 point, sometimes a couple of points. And so we've gone, if you look at fall of 2024 at 80%, now we have 89% of our children that seem to be thriving. So that is a really encouraging trend. Youth Truth results, this is a work in progress. We've barely touched it, but I pulled out a couple of data points for you. It's a test that is given to only third through fifth grade students. It's not a test, it's a survey. Anytime they're on the computer, they think it's a test. So engagement, we're up to 90%, and that's pretty good. The children feel engaged, and that's working. Relationships, they rated around 50%. That's what we want to look at the questions and see what were they asked, and how we think we interpret that, and what we can do about it to bring it up. Belonging's at 88%, so we're pleased with that. These are two slides, the next two slides, list the ways that we look at the whole child, involve them, include them, engage them, and create many, many enrichment kinds of activities that go into the whole child. They're much more than a test score, aren't they? So, Hellman has a great historical outdoor focus. In around 2009 or 10, it was started by a couple of kindergarten teachers, and we talked to the city. One of them knew about the Ashland Pond, which was dry. The water had been diverted into Bear Creek, and so we talked the city into diverting the water back to the pond, and that has become the Ashland Pond Restoration. And there's actually signs down there that call it Ashland Pond Restoration. So I was really thrilled to see that. And during the course of a few years, we had otters that came back and herons and all sorts of wildlife. And Loma Katsi was a huge partner and cleared blackberry bushes and got it ready for children to come and plant and start tending it. So it was great. We bought rubber boots and gloves and raincoats and everything and shovels and everything, and it's continued. I was very pleased when I came back this year to see that we went back this year and planted more trees. So tree planting with Loma Katsi, bike safety with the intermediate grades, and we have this wonderful kinder bike and scooter program that the kids get extra PE that way each week, and it's run by some parents. It's wonderful. Activities for engagement, this is a very short list. It's not limited to this, but we just did Spirit Week. We have Watermelon Olympics. We have junior coaches in the 4th and 5th grade that you will hear about in a little bit. For all district activities, the 4-5 track meet. 4th grade just went to SOU and with their recorders and played with the Rogue Symphony. That was fabulous. We have YMCA partnerships, and our preschool classes are buddying now with a 4th grade class, I believe. We have community days where cross-age buddies get together once a month and do activities for about a half an hour. We have a post office project run by students, fabulous. They sell stamps, cancel letters, pick them up, sort them. They have little visors and mail bags, and it's very cute. Cabs in the classroom, we're learning about farm life and farm animals. We have an Art to Remember project that's wonderful, fundraiser, talent show, gardening projects. Every Friday at lunchtime, there's a crafts activity that's run by our school counselor, and kids just flock to it, and that's an ASF grant. And we have a running club run by our youth advocate, and she created a Run After Dark event this year in a very cold October evening, and it was more fun. I think we're going to do it again next year. Some other things that we keep them active and engaged. We have this wonderful PTA. I've never known one that's been so supportive and helpful and insightful, and it's just wonderful. We had another ASF grant was for first grade woodworking, went along with an ELA unit. We have clay work with a visiting artist, another ASF one, OBOB, which all the other schools do too. It's Oregon Battle of the Books. And Rebecca, you were there at the final, I remember, yeah. Food backpacks, walkathon, and the Snowflake, just a few. And there are more PTA events on the other side of this slide as well. For cultural recognition, we have affinity groups. We tromped around the neighborhood with noisemakers, and everybody wore red and gold to honor the Chinese New Year. Taiko drumming was just at our school. It's fabulous. And we did earlier Yurok singing and dancing assembly, which was terrific as well. One of our families is directly involved in that. Field trips, many of them. These are just a few. There's a salmon watch, Shasta Caverns, lava beds. We went to the SOU women's basketball in honor of Women's History Month. Second grade goes swimming at the Y. We went to the pumpkin patch, Ashland Pond, of course, and then ice skating at the rink in Medford, which is a great place to go. So, PTA sponsors Hellman Hoda. I think some of you have even been to that before in the fall. Lego Club, we have a bingo night. Mayfair coming up May 17th, I believe, on a Sunday. It's fabulous. STEM night coming up in 2 weeks, 5 or 5:30 in the cafeteria. And we had a parent book study run by our school counselor, and I did very little. It was her genius idea, and we studied the anxious generation, which they have turned into a focus group called the joyous generation. If you get your kids off screen, you'll have a joyous generation. Now, I would like to introduce, I forgot two things that should have been on the slide. We have a fabulous art display going on that I would love you to come and see. We do focus on art in every classroom, and it's pretty amazing the kinds of things that they do. And the other thing is our K-1 kids are in the 100 Book Club month, where they list, and they're writing down every book that they've read all year long to get to 100 books. It's very sweet. Okay, junior coach program. Lawson,
Yes. Hello. Should I come up now?
come
Should we all
up with the kids.
All right.
Yes. And while you're coming up, I'll tell you what Lawson does. She is our youth advocate. She provides a positive experience for all kids, never punitive, even if they've done something kind of awful. Hellman Running, she does the Hellman Running Club, the Run After Dark. She organizes a variety of playground activities, plays great music through a boombox, very clean versions, carefully find those. Basketball tournament, that was fun. Field games, hula hoops, and she does sensory breaks for some children who are dysregulated that need to go do 5 minutes of hoops or something or other. So I'm going to turn it over to, and do you want to?
Well, no, do you want to run? Should I?
I can run the slide.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, but we're going to start with, I'll tell you when.
Yes, okay.
So thanks for having us.
You have to turn that on
Oh, turn this on.
and pull.
Testing, testing.
There you go.
Excellent. Yeah, it's getting there. Go down. Okay. Is this good? Is this good for you?
A little bit.
It is Brooklyn's birthday today, so we
Yep.
have to, yay! I'm glad she said yes. I'm glad she said yes to doing this with us.
Okay.
So this is our third year of a junior coach program, and I really love working with these students and playing each day. I'm always so proud of what they do every day. This year, they've offered 26 different games and activities. They've covered 60 playground shifts, They've organized 3 sports tournaments, and we have 36 students participating in the program. And today I have three of them here to share some more about the program. I have Brooklyn, whose birthday it is, right here. I have Louisa, and I have Colin down there. So they're going to tell us a little bit more. All of these words are just entirely theirs. They wrote it. I didn't help at all. So here we go. So we're going to start with Brooklyn and Louisa, and then we're going to have Colin do the slides. And I'm sorry I'm talking outside the mic.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn. The Junior Coach program is really fun. Lawson has the older kids of the school make games and fun recess activities for the other kids in the school. We have meetings every other Wednesday and talk about how we can improve. We pick sports and fun games for the next week. Sometimes there are prizes like stickers or other fun little toys, and we try to make sure that everybody's having a great time. A great junior coach is kind, understanding, and patient. The Junior Coach program makes kids feel included, awesome, and cool. My favorite thing about being a junior coach is playing with little kids and making them feel so special. Something I learned was that some things come easy to some kids and some do not. And whoever it is, you have to be patient and make sure they're having a good time. And that can mean letting them join your team or letting them get a retry.
And now Colin's going to go through a slideshow.
Hi, my name is Colin, and my favorite thing about being a junior coach is helping people with sports and games at recess. We play fun and silly games like banana tag, and we give out cool prizes like bananas. We teach younger kids different games like flag football. Sometimes Henry the Dragon joins us for the fun. One of the crowd favorites is dodgeball.
Oh, wait, what about hoops?
Oh, I knew that. We also like making up fun games like hoop to hoop. One of the crowd favorites is dodgeball. Being a junior coach is awesome.
Yay. Oh, well, we're out. You don't have to switch.
Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are. So we tell them.
We are the Hellman Dragons from Hellman School. We show our pride with self-respect and respect for others too. Dragons stand for safety and the right to learn. Each one acts responsibly, and each one gets a turn. Oh, we are the Hellman Dragons. Our mission will prevail.
We'll journey on to excellence, proud
From head to tail.
Dragon, we're going to turn and face our board members. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to face our board members first, and we say, hello. Turn around, and we're going to sing to them, and then we'll turn and we'll sing to our audience. Cool things, big smiles. Take a big breath and look around at all these wonderful people who volunteer their days, their times, their weeks, their months, their years to help us at our schools. Can we give them a big hip hip hooray? Ready? Hip hooray! We had a lot of songs we loved to sing, and they unanimously chose this as the one that they wanted to be able to sing to you.
Sometimes I lay under the moon. I'm so glad I'm breathing.
all blues will feed on the souls of the innocent, sun-drenched pavement. Keep on moving though the waters stay raging. In this maze you will lose your way, your way. Not driving you crazy, but don't let it face you, no way, no way. Oh, sometimes I'm crunchy and I'm down, but I never let it get me down, get me down. Negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more, and our children will say, one day, one day, one day. Let's turn and face our families. One day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom. Way up, way up, way up, you're welcome to join us. All my life I've been waiting for, for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more wars, and our children will say, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Right where you want to take it around, and then you're gonna follow, and then you're gonna Henry, you came to school. Let's give him one more round of applause.
Thank you. That was our two lovely kindergarten teachers and Henry. Does this just turn off? Okay.
I'm ready.
I'm going to sing my whole presentation. Can you follow that?
Oh my gosh, those look so good. Okay. I was about to say, that is a really tough act to follow, so good luck. Okay, so next up, we have Erica Thompson here to give us our annual ASF report.
Yeah, I cannot follow that or recover from that. That was incredible. What was that? Within. Yeah, I think we should all be required to have a song as part of our presentation from now on, after me. Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here tonight. I am here to share a little bit with you about how our year went. We just wrapped up our grant season for the 25-26 school year, and then to talk to you a little bit about how we plan to replenish those funds this month for the coming fall. So for anybody here or who's listening in who's not familiar with the Ashland Schools Foundation, we were established here in 1989, and we are here to empower educators, embrace diversity, and advocate for a vibrant, holistic education for every student. And the way that we do that primarily is through our grant programs. So throughout the school year, teachers can fill out a simple application. They send it to us, and it's for anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s for projects in their classrooms that there isn't funding available for in the existing school budget. So this year was our second highest grant year on record. We awarded 115 grants, totaling $124,780, and that actually has gone up just a little bit since then. We had a few more come in after that last deadline, but it was an excellent grant year. We saw a very diverse set of requests come through across all 7 sites, and I have a couple highlights I'd like to share with you all. Also, thank you, Susan, for shouting out a couple ASF grants at Hellman School. I saw a few more on her list there too that we've also supported, including the pond restoration. Many years back, we have helped support that partnership with Lomakatsi. We also, in partnership with the Parks Foundation, support the Pedal Power bicycle safety program throughout the district. Also at Hellman School, we helped purchase a shed last year to store track and PE equipment. And also that running club and the Run After Dark Club was a really cute one this year that we supported, as well as the 4th grade recorder partnership with SOU and affinity groups throughout the district. I also wanted to highlight a couple grants. We supported a number of classroom libraries this year, both in terms of book sets for full classes and for the whole class to read the same book. And then also we saw a lot of classrooms just stocking up on collections of books to have choice reading available for their students. Another fun one we saw this year was school newspapers at both the middle and high school. I understand one of those was just recently printed. I'm very excited to see a copy. Yes, those were some fun ones. And then Rogue Valley Farm to School is another example of a community partnership that we support. We paid for a school-wide tasting at Walker School this past semester, or this, I think just last month actually, that happened. A lot of gardening projects over the years. This year, we helped support a garden at the high school, as well as a new greenhouse at the middle school that just went up. I'm really excited to see that develop. A wetland restoration project at the middle school was another highlight this year. We're working with Andre Carvalhos on that, and that's also a good example of a way that ASF supports the district is sometimes we're partnering with teachers to pursue additional outside funding. So I know that there's efforts to work on some outside grant funding for the wetland restoration. This happened also last year with the movable set walls project. And then a couple years before that with a big musical instrument acquisition. So sometimes our role beyond just fundraising and giving dollars to the district is also to lend our 501c3 status to help apply for outside funding or to be a partner in pursuing other sources. We got a big gift this year from a donor who wanted to upgrade a lot of science equipment at the high school. That was a nice infusion we were able to offer. And then a really exciting thing we got to do this year. I had a number of conversations with the education directors over at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and we were able to come to a brand new agreement where every ticket for a Ashland School District student going on a field trip to the festival will be a flat $30, and we committed to paying for all those field trips this year. So my understanding from OSF is that it's a record to have 410 ASD students attend the Shakespeare Festival this year. And it's not only a bit of a money-saving measure and a good partnership for us, but it also, I think, saves teachers a lot of time from not needing to figure out the tiered pricing structure that was in place for field trips. So we were really happy to help make that happen this year. So I want to talk a little bit about how we are able to do all this, but before I move into that, I just want to open, does anyone have questions specifically about our grant year this year or any of our grant programs? Great. I'm glad that you feel you have all the information you'd like. And also I'll say that on our website, we have a complete list of grants from, I think, the last 5 years at this point. You can go to ashlandschoolsfoundation.org and read all about all of the grants that we've given in the district in the last few years. So the primary way that we raise funds to be able to support these programs is through our annual fund drive, which is every April. You may have seen this postcard come into your mailbox if you live in Ashland. And our theme this year is Big Dreams Begin Here. We're highlighting a lot of stories from folks who graduated from our school district and attribute their success later in life to the experiences they had in our school district. So keep an eye out for those stories on our social media. We kind of have two goals of the campaign this year. One, of course, is fundraising. We're aiming to raise $115,000 in the month of April this year. But also, we really are doing everything we can to grow our mailing list. We really just want to expand our reach and make sure as many people as possible know that we exist and know that we're here to support the district. We know that a lot of the folks that we're getting in touch with, philanthropic giving is not for everyone, is not accessible to everyone, but the more that we can spread the word, the more we can reach folks who are interested in supporting what we do in the district and can make that happen for our teachers in our classrooms. So, and our newsletter is just a lot of fun. We get to highlight a lot of the amazing projects and creative ideas that teachers have for their classrooms. So that's a big goal we have this April. Let's see here. So this is a campaign. We are fundraising by sending letters in the mail and putting the word out online. But the major way that we make this happen is through our outreach parties. Can I see a quick show of hands? How many people in this room have been to an ASF outreach party before, or phone calling nights? Awesome. Would you say it was, thank you so much for doing that, by the way. Would you say it was more scary, less scary than you would expect it to be? Anybody? Not scary. Great. I love to hear that. Thank you. If you're not familiar, outreach parties are where we get at least hopefully 20 people in a room, and we're making phone calls to past supporters as well as school district families to encourage their support or even just a subscription to the newsletter. And we feed everybody. We get a catered meal for the whole room, and we make it as easy and unscary as possible. We have scripts for everybody that are really clearly laid out and different responses to different responses you might get on the phone. And we really need the support of everybody in the school district to help make these happen. We're going bigger than ever this year. We're doing 5 nights in a row, April 20th through 24th, 4 to 7 p.m. And this year we're going to be holding them at Bestow downtown. So you'll be surrounded by beautiful plants and eating delicious food and hanging out with great people. In addition to volunteer support, let me add that if you really don't want to make phone calls, we do have roles at these parties that we need filled that are not phone call based. So we need folks to help us set up and break down and organize the food, and then also writing thank you cards. So this is an especially great opportunity for students who are looking for volunteer hours. I know we put a couple flyers out at the high school. If there's anywhere else I can help get the word out about that, please let me know. Bless you. One thing I just want to add to that, if it's okay to say, is that we have found that what is the most motivating and compelling when we are reaching out to potential supporters is when there's a matching gift. So we're actually looking this year for business sponsors for all 5 nights of those parties. If anybody is interested, or if you know of somebody who's interested, please have them contact me. During the Monster Dash, we have a lot of sponsors, and we don't have a lot to give in return to them at the Monster Dash. We can show logos and put things in newsletters, but there's nothing quite like having your name mentioned 250 times over the phone, left in voice messages to community members. So I think it's an exciting opportunity, and that will just turn into even greater support for our classrooms. So that's the word we're also spreading this week in our outreach. So please sign up to volunteer. Please help spread the word about volunteering. I should have put this on my last slide here. If Eva were here, she would remind me that our website should be at the bottom of this slide, ashlandschoolsfoundation.org. And there you can find an update about how the campaign is going. Like I said, you can see a complete list of grants that we've given in the last 5 years. And then you can also see all of these volunteer shifts that we have available during the Outreach Party Week, April 20th through 24th. Any questions about any of that? Okay. Also, I brought one of our new stickers this year. This year's color is very bright blue, so you can keep an eye out for those in your mailboxes as well. Thank you.
Erica, I just want to, I don't know if I speak for the board or what, but I just so appreciate the foundation. I believe that it's structured so beautifully to support our teachers, to get behind them and show that we have confidence in their brilliance and their creativity and their inspiration. And here's a little cash, go make it happen. It's got the right spirit, and I appreciate it. Clearly, you're a great community organizer, and I'm glad we have you on board.
Thank you, Deltra. There's really no better feeling than giving money to a teacher, I have to say. I really enjoy that. Okay, thank you.
I will second what Deltra said. Obviously, she was speaking for all of us. We really appreciate everything that you do, and I know, most of us have been involved with this for so many years, but it's something that really highlights the community of Ashland, and it's so nice to see that partnership between our community and our schools. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, next up we have our finance report. Sherry Ely.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here again for a very boring financial report.
We like boring.
Yes.
That's good news.
This is very boring. I do want to apologize, though. I forgot the cash flow report in this month's document, so there wasn't really much change at all. The amount of cash that we're holding in the bank and that we're going to have over at the end of the year is about the same as it was the report last month, so I will remember next month, so I'm sorry about that. All right, starting with the revenue again. Nothing dramatic there. Still watching the property taxes, and I made a note there that when I am working up the budget for 26-27, we take that into consideration, and so that will be an amount that we deduct from the state school fund that we will be getting in 26-27 because they'll take that back next May. So you'll see that there. And on the May catch-up payment, we've gotten several estimates from ODE on what that 24-25 catch-up payment's going to look like. We got the final one just yesterday, so I put together a reconciliation. I haven't shared it with Dr. Hattrick yet. I'm going to share that with the cabinet next week. I will tell you, ODE just was doing like, it was kind of frustrating because everyone that came out, it's like, okay, there's mistakes on that one, and so we would let ODE know that they had missed something or that something didn't look right. And so by the third one, it still doesn't look like what I thought it should look like. And so still kind of going through that and making sure that there aren't any more errors on that. But it's been kind of frustrating this year with the estimates and just some of the mistakes that we're seeing on the ODE side. So having to keep our eyes on that. On the expenditure side, again, nothing different than what I shared last month. The only thing I'm really monitoring is that over expenditure in the IDEA fund because our IDEA funds came in less than what we had anticipated. So I did make a note of that. It's about $150,000, I think, is where we're going to end up at the end of the year with what we'll have to move expenditures back into the general fund. But even with that, I did make a note that it does look like our ending fund balance is going to come in at about 3.4 million. And so that's just under 8% of an ending fund balance. So still doing pretty good. It's holding really steady on that front. And on our appropriation compliance, everything's looking good so far. We don't have any areas that look like we're going to have any issues there. If we do by the end of the year, I would do a resolution and let you know where we needed to move funds around on that. But so far, things are looking good. And then on our special revenue funds, again, nothing exciting to report. I highlight the IDEA over expenditure just so that that's something that we don't forget to monitor. But outside of that, nothing dramatic happening. Working on the 26-27 budget. Things are looking pretty decent on that front, so I'll be incorporating some of the things from this year as we go into the 26-27 budget as well. So, any questions?
I have just a question about next year's budget
Yes.
and kind of our process in budgeting. I know the y'all vote we won't know the results for until a couple days after May 19th. How does that fit in with our budgeting process? Are we going to have kind of a plan B budget? What's the approach that you guys would like to take?
So what I would do is include the y'all funding in the budget, but then we would know, just off budget, that if that funding doesn't come through, that $5 million, that I would have a schedule that would show, just where we would need to make some reductions. Of course, because the y'all supports a lot of staffing, it supports a lot of our athletics and some of our, music and arts programs. That's where you're going to see the major reductions if that y'all does not pass. So right now, I'm including it in the projections that I'm putting together, but knowing that if that does not pass, then we would, at the second budget committee meeting, that's where we would address that. And we would have a plan for you to look at to address that kind of reduction. I really hope that doesn't happen.
Reminder for all listening to vote. It's a very important measure for us.
Yes, it's very important for Ashland School District that the y'all supports so many amazing programs for the district, from classroom, teachers, programs, athletics, like I said, the arts, the theater. It supports so much. So, yes, vote. Anything else? Yep, thank you guys.
Thank you. Okay, so next up we have the ASD transformation update with Superintendent Hattrick.
All right, good evening, board members. It's exciting to present this. Tonight, I'm presenting our transformation timeline, which is a step-by-step roadmap that'll guide how we approach long-term sustainability, including consolidation, potential grade reconfiguration, and facility use. It's not a decision tonight, it's a process presentation. As you know, we've made significant progress towards stabilizing our finances. The next steps is ensuring systems and structures are aligned with our current and future enrollment realities. This work's about preserving strong academic programs, using resources efficiently, and ensuring long-term sustainability. Most importantly, doing this in a way that reflects our community's values. We're calling this a jog approach, as you recall. Not a sprint where decisions are rushed, and not a standstill where we avoid necessary change, but steady, intentional pace that allows us to engage meaningfully, use accurate data, and build trust through the process. The work spans, and this plan spans, from January 26 through June of 28, so a year after implementation and board action. There are 3 core principles guiding the work: data-driven decision-making, community and staff engagement before decisions, and transparency at every step. And I want to emphasize, loud and clear, that no final decisions occur until 2027. Let's see if this clicker works from here. It does. So it's a 9-phase process. You'll see that it moves from data and learning to engagement to scenario development and finally to board decision and implementation. Each phase builds on the one before it, and nothing happens in isolation. And this entire plan will be up on the district website as well as all of the school websites as well. I know this one slide is difficult to read, but we're going to go into detail on every phase right now. So we began with deep data analysis. Obviously, this phase is concluded. It included enrollment projections, staffing models, facility utilization, best practices from other districts. We also launched a public web page so our community can follow the work in real time. So we have designated transformation pages on our district website, as well as it's duplicated on each of our school web pages. In phase 2, which is where we're at right now, we're establishing a transformation steering committee. The group's going to include staff, administrators, families, community members, and student voice where appropriate. We'll also have board liaisons as observers throughout the process. Applications going to be sent out through schools next week for parents to express interest in the committee. It'll be very labor intensive and continue through the summer. So that'll be explained in the letter to go out so people understand that there's a high level of commitment. We'll use other strategies to recruit staff, students, and community members, and that will be going out very soon as well. We're also going to conduct our first staff survey this month to understand their vision, strengths, challenges, and opportunities. So this will get a really clear look at hopes, dreams, visions for the future. And this is staff focused this month. And feel free to interrupt at any time. So during phase 3, we'll have our first broad community engagement phase. So initially we thought it would be in person, but we first need to learn more about the community before we really engage. We need something tangible before we engage in person. So we're going to conduct a district-wide survey, hold staff engagement sessions. So we'll have collected staff surveys. We'll do staff in-person engagement while we're collecting community and family surveys, and gather and organize all feedback. So at this point, we're listening, not proposing solutions yet. The hope is in this engagement phase to learn from families and communities what they hope to see as the Ashland School District of tomorrow will look like. You'll see in the following pages, but in this process, we're really hoping to develop stable operations so that today's kindergartners will send their children to Ashland schools in the future and have the confidence that they're sending their kids to sustainable Ashland schools of the future. That's the ultimate goal. And so we're starting with surveys to really get as much data as we can from as many constituents as possible to get, again, the vision of the future, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we'll have as much data for the committee to review. That takes us into the next phase. Phase 4. Using all of the input and data, we move into the scenario development. The scenarios will be developed by the steering committee, and the scenarios may include different school configurations, facility use options, program alignment strategies. It can be anything and everything, but it'll be based on the feedback that we receive. They will then come to board in a work session format, no decisions, it'll be discussion. The scenarios, again, are based on the feedback and will again align to the goals of preserving strong academic programs and those that make Ashland special, using resources efficiently and ensuring long-term sustainability. So we're going to continue to refocus that those are the priorities and aligning back to the vision that our community, staff, students identify, as well as the goals of our community.
Can I ask a question before we move on? Are you thinking that timing would happen during the board retreat or in the board meeting in August?
Either, or maybe a special meeting. Yeah, really depends on the timeline of the committee. So phase 5. Once scenarios are developed, we take them back to the community. So this will be the second round. So this is going to be the real in-depth in-person, hosted by each school and their leadership team, as well as the committee, including town halls, listening sessions, deeper engagement with stakeholder groups, really honing in on specific components of scenarios. And it's really where we begin to understand the concerns, questions at a really, really deep level. This is going to be probably the highest level of work for the committee, the sites, the board, because we're going to be engaging at a very deep level with the community at that point. To fully understand the concerns, questions of scenario or scenarios that are brought forth. Questions on that phase? Okay. Phase 6. This is where we go back to the drawing board and refine everything based on the feedback we receive over phase 5. So we develop a revised scenario, detailed implementation plans, proposed budget to determine what the real impacts of those are, staffing considerations, collaboration with labor partners, although we're doing that throughout the process, especially because there'll be members of the committee as well. And this ensures that any proposal brought forward is realistic and responsible and meeting our goals going forward. Phase 7. It's now time for the decision. So this is the decision point for the board, and the target is January of 27. At this stage, you'll have all the data, community input, staff feedback, financial analysis, and only then would a final plan be considered for approval. Once approved, we would develop transition teams. So at that point, the previous team would be done with their work, and we would be establishing new teams, a transition team, to continue with community updates. Well, the community updates will continue, and the transition teams will now start the next phase of the work, which is initiating planning. It'll also, during this phase, initiate our third major community parent and staff survey to determine the needs at this next critical step. So the decision has been made. Now we need to determine what the next needs of our community are. So how do we meet all of the needs in terms of implementation for our staff, community, students? Phase 8. So once a decision is made, we move into transition readiness. It includes staff assignments and training, students and family supports, facility preparation, and clear communication. Obviously, this is weaved throughout the entire plan, communication. I have asked Sherry to figure out what kind of a budget even that looks like for communication support throughout the entire plan. Our goal is to ensure smooth and supported transitions for everyone. That's students, families, staff, the works. It's challenging to detail too much at this phase because we don't know what the plan is. We have no idea what it could look like because it's going to be dependent on what ideas are brought forth. So I can't say what a team looks like. I can't say what transition looks like because we don't know what that looks like. So at this point, it's very vague. It's exciting because it's innovative. We don't know. So more to come on that, obviously. And then finally, we implement and continuously monitor. So you see, even after implementation, after the fall of 27, every quarter we're going to survey to figure out kind of where we're at. So provide quarterly updates, gather feedback from staff and families, and make adjustments as needed. This ensures we're not just implementing, but we're improving over time. So I want to leave you with 3 key takeaways. It's a multi-year, thoughtful process. Engagement happens before decisions are made, and that the board remains central at key decision points and informed throughout. So that's why I do want you as observers throughout the committee and subcommittees. And this is about getting it right, not getting it fast. That's why when we surveyed the community the last time, we decided to jog, not run, but also not walk. So we've presented this to the lead team. I presented to my superintendent advisory council last night. There was kind of a collective sigh of relief, because while there's still not answers, and there shouldn't be, because this isn't about answers yet, what it does answer is the void, which is what has been filled with a lot of rumor and speculation. There is no room for speculation. Now there's a roadmap that we're going to follow that says there really is no plan. So we really need to just take a deep breath, know that this month is surveying staff and developing a committee that's going to really help drive the work. And it's up to our community to develop the vision. It's been exciting, and I'll talk about this in my superintendent report, but it's been exciting that I've been part of both the SOU and the City of Ashland's strategic planning and reinvention processes, and we're right along with them. And so as we work with our community, we get to define what Ashland School District looks like in the future. And like I said last year, this roller coaster of instability can end after this next year and a half. And it's not being done to us. We're going to do it together. So happy to answer any questions on the plan.
I've got a question for you, which is, I appreciate the thought that went into this, and it feels like it fits us really well. But I'm assuming you looked at other models of districts that have gone through similar things and to learn what to do and what not to do?
Yep, I did. And we added a few more engagement steps, a lot more communication. So tried to learn from them.
Will the engagement and connection that you have through SOU's process and the city's process help inform our decision as well, so that we're trying to collectively build a vision for the community?
Yeah, so we're all on dramatically different timelines. I'm trying to learn from the interviews I've been part of what can I glean from those. We're almost at an advantage because we're behind. So we'll hear what they've learned, how they've used the information that they've received. SOU will be done at the end of this month. And so we'll be able to learn a lot from that. The city we're going to be engaging together with some of the steps. And so, yeah, we'll be collaborating a lot, as well as you all know, I work monthly with all of the community leaders together. So even as we're making adjustments, we try to leverage each other to do those together also. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Sort of along those same lines, obviously Ashland is, while we are a very unique community, not unique in being in a similar situation, right? So there's so many school districts right now that are going through processes at various timelines the same way we are. So how much are you expecting that to inform us? Like, are we looking at what other districts have done and are planning to do? I just remember, like, during COVID, there was so much, everybody was trying on their own to come up with their plans, and it would have been nice to have so much more cohesion. And it feels like we're in a bit of a similar situation now, where so many districts are struggling.
Every community is so unique. I've asked our association to unify around it. There's not been a concerted effort to do that. It's been really difficult to replicate that, I think, because communities are so unique. So I have researched those that the information's available, but I think everyone's on such a unique timeline that it's been difficult. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys mind? I'm going to go linearly through the phases, just since that's the order of the questions I wrote down.
Okay.
Phase 1, I know is complete. I know your team's done a data deep dive. Will any summary of that data be available on the website just for folks to know facility usage, things like that?
When the scenarios come available.
Okay. I will say one thing that I'm aware in my conversations, part of the void is that there is a lot of information going out there that people don't know if it's true or not. And so, up to staff, my recommendation is err on the side of more information than less, just to help.
So
Control
one
the
of the reasons we don't want to put out all of the data yet is it'll influence the survey results.
Okay.
So I want to give the full look, especially when we do the engagements, with the scenarios.
Okay.
Yeah. Sooner if we can,
So here would be great. Yeah.
but
Yeah, just to understand what actually, where are there facilities being underused, et cetera,
right.
is where I hear a lot of questions.
Right, because if that that data point specifically is available, when I ask people to dream, what they're going to say is, here's what you do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear what we do. I want to hear what we want to be.
Yeah. I hear ya.
Yeah.
In the phase 3, community engagement round, I'm very excited to see this. I know this is where folks are really looking to plug in. One thing I'm highly aware of is no matter what process we take, it is an incredibly difficult process with a lot of grief involved when change occurs.
Yeah.
And the measure of a community and being able to withstand, such a process is our resiliency. And our resiliency is really built by human connection. So if there is a chance, to hold a town hall at the high school or something where people can come together face to face to share ideas or to say what they love for their kids, what they wish would improve for their kids, I would highly recommend. The more connection we can have with each other, the more hopefully resilient we can be in making that transformation successful.
Okay.
And then I would just share my same thoughts on the phase 7, having the parent community survey post-approval transition needs. Same thing, like so much grief. If there's a way that we can do it face to face,
Sure.
I would love to help support my capacity if need be.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, you're talking about rather than surveys having it be
written.
I think
face-to-face
there
meetings?
is really
Okay.
high survey fatigue right now.
Yes,
And I
For
think
sure.
that is
the
true.
more that we can connect together across schools,
Okay.
the healthier we can transform
Absolutely.
onto the other side.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, a question for you though, Jordan. Is that not already covered in phase 5 with the town halls?
I think I want to recognize that there's different emotional moments throughout the process. And, first, just being able to share out loud what you love, what you want to keep versus what you want to see improved is phase 1. Phase 2 is really vetting the scenarios. And then even the most important phase is the actual transformation itself. So any human connection point we can have
Yeah.
is a good thing right
For
now.
sure. They're different phases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the steering committee. I appreciate having this roadmap. My last question is, when your hope for timeline is for putting these on the website to show others?
This, tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Two quick things. One's a question, other's a comment. The question is, you've mentioned that there'll be outreach for people to become part of the council.
Committee.
Committee,
Yeah.
thank you. Where would we direct people if we knew that people were interested and that maybe they
They're
had
going to be
more
sent through each
information?
school.
Okay.
So either, did we decide the newsletter or a letter? So it'll be directed through each school. We'll also put a link on the I drew a blank too, the website for each school. So to be safe by next Wednesday.
Okay.
So if they don't get the letter directly from the school, you could direct them to the website.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at that point then,
Yeah.
if I'm just talking.
And
to
probably
members of the
open for a
community-
week. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then the other part, I want to echo that I value that there's going to be a lot of emotion and some of it will be very hard through this. I also want to lean into the positivity and recognize that it's also an opportunity. And I hope that focus on dreaming big for the future of the school district in Ashland is the guiding principle for the process.
Thank you.
I want to also echo that and what Jordan said. I think you kind of put your finger on it when that's the phase to hear what we love.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you definitely brought it up here. It's not just, how can we make ourselves the most efficient, but also how can we maintain what is so special about Ashland? I mean, that needs
Right.
to be a part of this, and that, I'm sure that will come up in the discussions.
Yeah.
I have one, this is sort of a personal request, suggestion, I don't know.
The survey's not
8.
available yet.
Phase 8, transition readiness. Okay, so this comes from a place of having been through 1 million workplace upgrades at hospitals. There's always somebody who says, we anticipate a smooth transition. And that is the kiss of death. So I'm just saying, never use that phrase.
Did I use the phrase?
No.
Well, good.
I'm just warning
See,
you.
I'm good so far. You just
Thank
said
you.
it, though.
I will never say it again.
Yeah. And I just want to recognize this is a heavy lift timeline. And so one thing I'll be looking for, and as a board, I think we'll be looking for in next year's budget, is making sure the capacity is there to see it through and do it well.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So next up, we move on to recurring reports. First up, we have nobody here from OSEA? No? All right, so we will move on to AA report with Alan Porowski.
Thank you. For the second month, continuing our new improved consolidate all the reports into 4 paragraphs. So here we go. It'll be quick. Across the district, schools are balancing growth, celebration, and challenge. Schools are preparing for kindergarten open house and are excited to meet new students and families. Elementary schools have also been busy with field trips and engaging student opportunities. Bellevue held a Changemaker assembly where students came together to sing and discuss dignity. 4th graders from Hellman, Bellevue, Walker, and Trails joined the Rogue Valley Orchestra to play swing music. Trails is focused on the S this month, working to be better stewards of the places they go. Trails middle schoolers participated in bike safety training and rode to JCLS in Medford along Bear Creek, while younger students are doing ceramics, composting, and enjoying spring hiking. Ashland Connect students are also going on a field trip to Lithia Park. Ashland Connect continues to grow and added 3 new students, while Walker staff were saddened to learn they will lose a teacher again next year due to decreasing enrollment. They are staying positive, continuing to engage students in meaningful ways, and look forward to more consistency and stability in the future. Spring is in full swing at AMS, with track and field seeing an impressive 206 participants. Families and staff are planning 8th grade farewell night and a parent-guardian information night. AHS is moving into master scheduling with a focus on improving past practices and is also evaluating its crisis intervention plan to better support students and staff during difficult times. Staff are appreciative of the AEA and district bargaining teams for their work to create a contract that supports financial stability while maintaining vital components such as protected prep time during the student contact day, reasonable class size recommendations, and more. And that's it. It's a
All
lot
right.
faster now, right?
That was a record, I think. Thank you. Okay, so we are moving right along to our student board representative report.
Perfect. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. So spring sports have officially started. Softball has their first home opener tomorrow at Lithia and Driveway Fields at 3 and 5. Boys volleyball has their first home game on April 28th. Baseball is currently playing Eagle Point, or might have just finished. They might have had a rain delay. Probably did. Track and field attended Oregon relays last week, and tennis is leaving tomorrow morning for a Roseburg tournament. Speech and debate has their state competition on April 23rd with lots of qualifiers for that. There was a senior assembly during TCB on Tuesday to discuss the graduation itinerary and how seniors will finish out the last few months of school. Juniors have been doing SBAC testing this week and will continue next week.
And there was an Easter egg hunt at Ashland High School across the newly transformed quad. Leadership class is hosting a blood drive on May 1st from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a spike ball tournament starting on the 21st, and we're planning prom, which is going to be on May 9th this year. Our seniors have all gotten college results back, with many already committed to universities. Kindness Club is holding a coin drive for Sanctuary 1, and our Belonging Committee is holding student and faculty belonging interviews in the coming weeks to get a broader sense of how we can utilize targeted universalism at Ashland High to deepen connection and sense of belonging among students and staff.
All right, thank you. Okay, and next up we have board reports. That's us. Anybody want to kick us off? Should we go down the road?
Tradition. We had our monthly LGBTQ to SIA Plus advisory board meeting, and just to update y'all, we finally had a charter that passed legal review and was presented for approval by the OSBA board in March. We also have a budget for activities for next fiscal year, which is great. What that's probably going to look like is scholarships for folks to participate in, board members to participate in trainings and activities. Kind of really digging into how to support school boards with challenges to student safety, mental health, and basic rights. We had a guest speaker from Basic Rights Oregon, and that was great. I went to the Ashland Schools Foundation board meeting, but Erica covered all that. I could tell it was April 1st for a lot of reasons. One, the toilets were plastic wrapped in my house. The milk was dyed black. There were spiders that fell from every door when you opened them that were on strings. And there were spring snakes in the thermoses for lunch. But also, that's the day that all those green signs just spring up like flowers all around town. So all of a sudden, overnight, there must be some crew of gnomes that puts those up, because there are like 1,000 around town. So please donate to Ashland Schools. It's their fundraising month. District adjacent. So I was glad to see in the ASF presentation the agreement, partnership with OSF. I did go to 2 OSF plays over spring break. And I only bring this up because our students are going to get to see it too. I saw Midsummer Night's Dream, which is great, and done as a musical. It's fantastical. And then Raising the Sun, which is fantastic. So I hope that our high school kids get to see that. That's what I've got.
Let's see. On March 24th, I went into the district office for perusal of the health and science textbooks. I spent some time in preparation of the superintendent review process. Put up some signs for the y'all. They all sprung up too. And then I'm excited for spring sports, softball and baseball. And yes, baseball, we did make it through the second inning, and we were in the lead when it was called. Oh, well.
All right, thank you, Deltra. All right, I guess I'll go. So let's see, this month, I'm trying to remember when our last meeting was. I believe it was a couple days after the meeting. There were 2 regional OBOB tournaments held, and I went to the high school tournament, and our Ashland High School team won. So we will be going up to the state championship leaving tomorrow, and it's on Saturday. So that's good news. We have all been participating in the superintendent review process in the last few weeks, so there will be some more news and results coming from that shortly. So stay tuned at our next meeting. And then I do want to say a few words about the y'all. So I think the last few weeks I've done like 2 newspapers, 1 JPR radio interview, 1 TV news interview to support the y'all. So, I mean, I know we already brought up how important that is, but I will just reinforce really how important that is. It is 10% of our operating budget, and it covers 90% of our athletics and arts, including all our music, theater, fine arts, as well as our world language programs. So critical that we get that funding continues, and we're not asking for anything more than it has been in the past. It's exactly the same rate, and it has always passed easily in the past year, so we certainly hope that that continues. So yes, vote for the y'all, and we saw all those nice signs come out. Thank you to Jordan, so you might have a few more words to say about it, who has really been spearheading this effort, so props, thank you. So that's it for me.
Absolutely, life is y'all at the moment. So thank you to all those board members who helped put out signs, the volunteers who helped put the signs together, folks for donating. I want to give a really strong shout out tonight, especially to AEA and their state affiliation OEA. They donated this week both $1,000 to support getting the word about the y'all, just knowing how crucial it is for our district. And so thank you so much, AEA, for doing that legwork and groundwork. If you would like a sign, if you would like to donate, please reach out to me. We're in it. We're in it to win it. So please join in and show the community support.
Let's see. I got to be one of the happy gnomes delivering all the y'all signs. So thank you for making that so effortless. I am very hopeful because I delivered them all by bike, and so I'm riding around town, and people are cheering as I'm riding, literally, and asking for signs. So that was really a heartening thing to do. So ride around with some signs if you want to feel good about yourself. You deserve it. Beyond that, we've already mentioned it. We're doing a lot of work on superintendent evaluation process, and then as a side note, I've been doing a fair amount of study on AI in schools, on both pro and con arguments, trying to be as educated as possible. So as policy continues to change, as I'm sure it will, hopefully we'll be able to make some educated decisions on it.
All right, thank you. And with that, we move on to our superintendent report.
I feel bad. Alan's report's getting shorter and mine's getting longer. So, as always, I presented the Rotary Student of the Month this afternoon, so I will repeat it this evening. Today, I have the honor of introducing Ashland High School Student of the Month, Leo Garcia. Leo is a 17-year-old senior who has called Ashland home for the past 10 years. And like so many of our students, his story is one of growth, connection, and commitment, not just to his own success, but to the success of others. When Leo isn't in the classroom, you might find him on the wrestling mat, out fishing, or camping in the beauty that surrounds our community. But what stands out most about Leo is not just what he does, it's how he shows up in every space of which he's a part. Leo is deeply connected to service. Through Interact and Rotary projects, he is already living out the values that bring us all together in this room, that room. In many ways, Leo represents the very best of the Rotary spirit, service above self. And perhaps it's no coincidence that service runs in his family with a mother who is a Rotarian and past president and a brother involved in Rotaract. But what truly sets Leo apart is the way others speak about him. One of his teachers shared that Leo possesses a rare and powerful combination of intellect and empathy. Leo is described as someone who not only seeks out challenges but grows from them. Someone whose curiosity and drive are matched by his kindness and sense of humor, and something noteworthy was mentioned that I think speaks volumes. That no matter what path Leo chooses, he will become a leader in his field. Leo's AP Calculus teacher highlighted his ability to balance it all, rigorous academics, leadership, and service, still while contributing meaningfully to the entire school community. She describes him as an amazing student and encouraged him to go out there and make a difference. I have a feeling he already is. Our school counselor shared that Leo is not only an outstanding student, but a change maker. Someone who actively looks for ways to improve the communities he is a part of. As ASB president, Leo doesn't wait to be asked, he steps forward. He leads, he supports, he lifts others up. And I love what he said, calling him Mr. President, because there's a sense that Leo's leadership journey is just beginning. And finally, Ashland High School Principal Francisco Atanas described Leo as exactly the kind of student athlete and leader every school hopes for. He emphasized that Leo keeps what matters most at the center of everything he does, serving others without any self-interest. He called him a true grizzly, generous, compassionate, and kind, and someone who makes everyone around him better simply being who he is. Leo plans to attend the University of Oregon Honors College and major in political science with aspirations of one day entering politics or law. And if his high school journey is any indication, I think it's safe to say his future will not only be successful, but impactful. Leo, what stands out most about you is not just your list of accomplishments, though they're impressive, but your character, your willingness to serve, your ability to lead with humility, your commitment to something greater than yourself. Those qualities change communities, those qualities change the world. On behalf of the Ashland School District, Ashland High School, and this entire community, it's my great honor to recognize you as Rotary Student of the Month. Leo, we are proud of you, we are grateful for you, and we cannot wait to see what you do next. Congratulations. So, a few updates. I met with the Superintendent Advisory Council for a social gathering over spring break, and then again last night for our official meeting. The district has completed all of the required submissions for the Youth Activities and Academics Levy for the upcoming election. I've, as I mentioned earlier, been engaged with both the SOU and City of Ashland's consultants on their improvement and strategic planning. I'm glad we're not doing that because that word's really, really challenging. And really, hopefully, it'll be mutually beneficial as we serve the same community. So continue to work with both of them. Per policy, we have one out-of-state travel to announce. I'm informing that DECA has 6 students traveling to the DECA International Career Development Competition. I'm surprised I didn't hear about that. Is that still happening? Okay, good. In Atlanta, Georgia, on from April 24th to 29th. We continue to meet with our licensed union in collective bargaining. Our insurance committee meets again on sometime soon. There it is, on the 23rd, which is the same day as our work session. So I'm hopeful that, even though it's an hour after, that I can give some updates at the work session. More to come. Yesterday, a panel, was that yesterday? What is it? Yes, yesterday, a panel convened to interview candidates for a Director of Student Services position. So I'll continue to update you as that evolves. The week before spring break, I had a great meeting with Senora Chella and the Amigo Club about the Guanajuato Ambassador Program. So that's going to continue, and have been asked to consider joining the Ashland delegation to Guanajuato this June. So I've yet to make a decision, but I'm honored to have been invited, and so considering that still. On Saturday, April 25th, I've been asked to deliver the keynote address at the Raider Educator Day at SOU, and would invite any board member to attend if you would like. Just email Holly if you're interested, and then we can make the arrangements for you to attend. Lunch will also be provided, so we will just RSVP for you if you'd like to attend. Steve Mitzel and I had a productive meeting with the Ashland Mill development team to learn more about their project and get updates. And they're committed to partnering with us as they move forward, which was, it was a really productive meeting. I will be traveling to Portland next Friday for a superintendent meeting, so April 17th, and PACE Day on April 23rd. PACE Day qualifies the district for a 5% discount on our insurance, and they pay for the day, so that's great. And hopefully I learn a lot as well. The district's collaborating with Commute Options, an organization, they're close, who is submitting a grant to ODOT to hire a Safe Routes to School coordinator for Ashland School District that would be employed by them, and we've provided a letter of support. So we're just going to stand by and support in any way we can. And then in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week, which is May 4th through 8th, I'd like to read into the record an official proclamation and ask for the board's consideration for adoption. So here I go. Whereas, teachers are the architects of our future, shaping young minds and hearts with knowledge, creativity, and passion. And whereas teachers embrace students from every walk of life, celebrating diversity and fostering growth in every individual. And whereas the promise of a brighter tomorrow depends on the gift of education given today, lighting the way for all students to succeed. And whereas our teachers go above and beyond, pouring their time and energy into planning engaging lessons, offering guidance, and creating opportunities for every student to shine inside and outside of the classroom. And whereas our community stands united in admiration and gratitude for the remarkable work our teachers do to nurture the minds and spirits of our children. Now therefore be it resolved that the Ashland School District Board of Directors proclaims May 4th through 8th, 2026 as Teacher Appreciation Week. And be it further resolved that we invite every member of our vibrant community to take part in this celebration, whether through a kind word, a note of thanks, or a heartfelt gesture, to honor our teachers for their unwavering dedication and the lasting impact they make on our lives. Hopefully adopted this 9th day of April 2026. That concludes my report.
Okay, so we vote to approve that?
Yes.
I will take a motion to approve the Teacher Appreciation Week as beautifully read by Dr. Hedrick.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Thank you. Okay. I am presuming we do not have public comments tonight? No? Okay. So next we move on to the final action item, which is the science and health curriculum adoption. So we have Rebecca Garmani and Hilary Cosenza here to present. Thank you.
Hi, here we are again. I see it's La Croix tonight and not Spindrift. Thanks for coming and reviewing the materials, Deltra. Be happy to answer any questions. We did kind of review the survey results from that. And then I met with my committee and we kind of reviewed those comments, and it was mostly comments. I don't remember any questions, but our recommendation still remains the same of the updates that we've been bringing the last couple of board meetings, that the K-8 recommends the Amplify K-8 what they've been doing for the past 2 years, and then upgrading to the 2E edition in 2028. Amplify has been great to work with. I was on the phone with her a lot this week because the committee reminded me that some of them want to pilot the 2E in 2027. Not the whole district. We don't want to be a whole district piloting it. But there are definitely some teachers and Trails as a site that would like to pilot that. So we might do that. I'm in communication with Amplify about that. And they're just super flexible with their pricing and working with us about having, kind of the version that is out now and then the upgrade to the 2E. Just really flexible and really great to work with. So that's been positive. And then again, the AP textbooks for the high school biology. We are asking, our recommendation for the environmental, AP environmental, is to wait until next year for purchase because there is a new edition coming out next year in January 2027. So we'd like to hold on that and actually purchase in January. And then the anatomy and physiology that Mikhail Kenfield has been using for her class. And they're really thrilled. I'm also thrilled. Hillary was whispering to me like, do we talk about budget? I am thrilled, and Sherry's still here? Oh, Sherry left. Thrilled to say that I think, looking at pricing and kind of the quotes that we got, that we would remain within the budget we were given. So excited about that. Yeah. The 2E, it's kind of they're kind of hard. It's hard for them to pinpoint right now because it's still so far out. But again, they've been super flexible and really accommodating to work with. So I think we'll be able to hit the mark.
Yeah, the health recommendations still remain the same. K-8, the Great Body Shop, love that flexibility, covers all the content area. And then at the high school, the Live Well health curriculum, the comprehensive health curriculum. Mm-hmm.
Any questions or comments?
I just want to say I know it's been a long journey while you guys are also managing all your day-to-day life with your work. So thank you for the time that you all on the committee has put into this. I'm looking forward to supporting the recommendation.
Mm-hmm. I do have a question. Mm-hmm. First of all, I just want to really affirm your competence and purpose as teachers, and what I'm offering now is not in any way, it should not be misconstrued as criticism or anything. I'm going to vote to adopt this. I'm probably not supposed to say that out loud, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do. But I did want to ask about the high school health book. I looked for some words there that may or may not be there. It was just a perusal. I didn't, and I went through and looked through the glossary and stuff like that, and searching for a few words that I couldn't find, and perhaps they're there. And I'm just curious about that. I didn't find the word condoms.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't find the word birth control, and I couldn't find the words protected sex, although unprotected sex was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to bring that up. Pretty significant concepts for our young high school students.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The Oregon specific content. And Oregon is unique among the states in that we have a pretty progressive set of health standards, which not all states have adopted. And so the textbook companies often make a text that is suitable for everyone, and then they have supplementals. So the supplemental Oregon-specific content standards regarding much of what you are referencing is an online component that comes with the purchase of that textbook. Thank you so much for noticing that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's a nice assurance. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good.
And I just wanted to be transparent. I don't know if you view the feedback of the survey or not, but the few respondents, there were some big feelings about Amplify being very much an online curriculum and not serving our students, and they need more hands-on activities. And I shared, again, we're transparent with the committee. We talked about that at the committee, and they're like, I wish these people would come in our classrooms and see what we're doing, they're very cognizant of Amplify is not 100% online digital curriculum. There is a digital component, but it's very hands-on, and, I always am seeing at the middle school, our teachers supplementing and doing more and, getting out and doing things. So again, just want to be transparent about those comments and encourage the community. We do have they can come in and fill out a form, and if they want to do a classroom observation, they just give us 48 hours notice, and we let those teachers know, and, somebody could come in and do a classroom observation. They're more than welcome.
I just have one quick question about the textbooks you were mentioning, just to clarify. So the environmental science textbook, so we won't be getting that until January, you're saying? But do we have like the older edition that kids will have in the meantime, right? Or
Yes, exactly.
So it'll just be a replacement halfway through the year.
Yeah, it will be replaced. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to order that probably till February 2027. But in the meantime, they'll continue with the APES textbook that they have. And they have enough.
And just, since I have to ask, does that then go into the budget that we were looking at, or is that going to be an extra expense further down the line?
I haven't connected with Sherry, but as far as I'm understanding, that's included in the expense now. She just kind of needs to put that money to the side.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like earmark it for later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Oh, wait, do we vote? We have to vote? Don't we have to vote? We were not done yet. Okay, so if we are done with questions, then I will take a motion to approve the curriculum recommendations as presented.
And so moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that brings us to announcements and appointments. The board will hold a work session on Thursday, April 23rd at 6:30 in the district office. The next regular session will be Thursday, May 14th at 6:30 here in City Council chambers. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.